Everyone. It's been a while. I've actually been busy doing schoolwork and, all the things teenagers do, but I haven't been outside lately because I actually been, grounded, but I'm not getting into that. Today I'm going to be talking about when I first, actually met my real dad and like how it was living with him. So this is more like a abuse video. But my mom and dad were in a fight and couples get in fights and my mom found one of her boyfriends from college or something like that, and he said, "Hey, how about you just come up north with us?" So he came and got us. We packed up everything. We were living in Davison at the time. And we went up north with them. We lived in Indian River by Petoskey and all that, by the Mackinac Bridge, way up there. And I noticed some signs that he had everything I had. He had, like, I had a gap between my teeth, and he has that, and freckles, like that. And my mom told me that was my dad. And when I found out when he was my dad, I was pretty upset because he was very abusive. He, one day when I came home from school because I was throwing up, I actually threw up on the principal. And he made me some food, and then I went to go lay down. And he told me that I had to come out and do dishes, even though I was sick. And one time he told us that during the fall, he told us we had to rake leaves, even though he had a blow dryer and he wasn't going to use it. So we had to rake leaves, and the yard was pretty big, like a mansion yard. It was pretty big. And we were sitting there raking, and I was little, and my brother was little. We were, little kids, they jump in leaves. We were having fun, and he told us we couldn't have fun, that we had to rake the leaves, and that's it. And when we got in trouble, we had to run 100 laps around the house. And one time, me and Jim were playing with the guitar on the porch, and he told us we had to go inside because he had to smoke his weed. And we went inside. My mom told us to go back outside. And we went back outside, and he told us to go in, and then one time he wanted us to help him clean out the garage. We went out to the garage, and he had piles of cigarette butts, and he told us we had to pick it up by hand and put it in the garbage bag. He one time threw chairs, and he had a heart attack, and he blamed it on us, and he blamed on me that I killed his aunt when I didn't. She was suffering from cancer, and she ended up dying from that, and he said it was my fault because I was misbehaving. And we actually left up north, and we came down here to Flint because one day Junior was over at a friend's house, I believe. My mom was out in the living room. I was in my room, and my Phil, that's my dad's name, he he has ninja swords and a bunch of weapons. He put them all into my mom in his room, and then he looked at me so strangely, like he had some kind of plan that he was going to do something bad, and locked the door. And then he left over to his brother's house. And I went to my mom and I told him that Phil put in some weapons and looked at me and then locked the door. And we were looking for some way to unlock the door, but we couldn't because he took the key with him. We tried to pop it with a bobby pin and all, and it didn't work. So we packed up. We hurry up and packed up and went to a shelter on Thanksgiving Day. This happened on Thanksgiving Day, and we came down here on Thanksgiving, and we celebrated Thanksgiving with my stepdad and all that. We went to the shelter up there a couple times. We moved from Petoskey because Petoskey was a shelter we went to. We went there a couple days, and then we moved back to Phil's house, and then we went back and back to Phil's house, and then we went to this other shelter. And from there, my mom said that we are just gonna leave and go back home. So I was pretty happy about that. So I tried to call my dad and try to have some relationship with him, and he told me that I'm not his kid, that he needs proof, which he's not gonna do because he doesn't believe it. When we know he is, and my mom knows for sure that he is my dad. I guess I'll tell you another story. I guess this is like a story video, but my dad had a friend, my stepdad. We were living where we are now, and my dad brought in a friend. His name was Doug, and he was a friend of ours, and we called him Uncle Doug. And he lived with us. Like a couple weeks later, he started acting strange around me. He started touching me and everything inappropriately, and he was about 30. He was about 30 years old, and he started raping me, and he raped me for like, I don't know how many months. It was so many months. I don't remember how many times he done it. I know it was a lot of months, like 5 or 6 months he was doing this to me. And I didn't tell my mom because he threatened me that he was going to kill my mom and dad if I end up going to tell him, or he was going to kill me. So I was terrified. I was only 13. I was very terrified of my parents and everything, so I didn't tell anyone. And then one day, he was in college for some schooling. I don't remember what, but he went to college. I went and told, no, it wasn't like that. I was sleeping and I had a nightmare, and he came in and he was trying to touch me again, and then my dad walked in, and no, my mom walked in and asked him, "Why are you in my daughter's room?" He said, "Your daughter was having a nightmare. I was trying to help her." And then he wasn't. He was actually touching me. And then the next night, my dad came in my room, woke me up, and told me that I need to go sleep with mom and he'll sleep in my room. So I went in my mom's room, and she was telling me what was going on, and I told her, "I can't tell you, something very bad's gonna happen." She took me to school that day. We stopped at McDonald's, and I told her what was going on, so she bought me McDonald's, took me to school. I was in middle school at the time. I was only in 6th grade or 7th grade when this happened. And then after that, we went to this thing to like prove that he did it and everything. And then my mom put a restraining order or whatever it's called away, so he can stay away from me. And then like 2 or 3 years later, I went to go let out my dog Maggie out, and I seen someone walking. He's like, this person was like, "Hey, Kaylin, haven't seen you in a while." I walk down the stairs and I look, and it was Doug. And I hurry up and went in the house and locked the door. So, but yeah, that's all I can really talk about. But I'll be doing a video pretty soon, so please subscribe and comment below a prank I can do on my brother. You still haven't been doing that. And make sure you push the like button. So, peace, everyone.